So you're saying that someone who would be concerned about their partner's past sexual exploits or promiscuity is not emotionally or mentally, like they're not in the right mindset to have a relationship?
Because
what about highly religious people that they're waiting till marriage to get married? They want to be they're a virgin. They want a partner that's a virgin. So to them, being with a partner that has a low body count, or who has no body count in this case, that's a priority to them. Is there an issue there?
I think you misinterpreted me for a little bit. I think more of like the extent to which we're spending time on this conversation currently, and to way like the extent Andrew Tate talks about it. And I understand like the topic of this, but I think if you care about it so much, like that this is like such a priority, maybe take a step back. I'm not saying it's totally not important. I'm saying it's maybe not as valuable as we're making it out to be. Of course, and to some, this might be very valuable, but, just take it into consideration.
Well, I would say that I think for men care about body count more than women care about it. Men are more interested in this than women are. So I think a lot of women probably don't care. And it kind of comes back to, something we sort of touched on is that I think women sort of value men who are a bit more experienced, and a guy who's a bit more experienced, whether that be in the bedroom or just relationship-wise. So the thing is that men and women are attracted to different things. Men have different preferences than do women. There are some where there's some preferences, standards, or boundaries that both men and women share, but there are also asymmetries too. Someone else wanted to come in?
Well, I just think the biggest part, what I find is Andrew Tate's age for him to
yeah, he's 35.
For him to just be saying all this at 35
he's a top G though.
You probably
he's a top G.
He's a top what?
Top G.
What?
Okay, continue.
Okay,
sorry.
I'm just saying it's just you're 35. You probably had sexual experiences. It's kind of just stupid to judge women at 35 for having a body count. I feel when we were younger, if you're 16, I think we definitely go into a lot of things looking at how many people have been how many people that person has been with. It's just because we're young. We don't understand the complexities of body count, sexuality, sex in general. But when you're when you're that age and you can't see it from a unit, a whole general thing, it's kind of just a little scary, because it's just you've seen more than an 18-year-old, but you're why are you judging about a body count? It's just so stupid. There's more things to judge someone on than their body count at that age.
Well, I think that's why in the very beginning of the video, he talks about body count too, but he also talks about wanting to date younger women. So I think he's saying if I had the choice, I'd rather date someone who is 19, 20, 21 versus a woman closer to his age, in his 30s. I don't think a lot of guys can pull that off, but I think for Andrew Tate, who's incredibly wealthy, I think he's tall, he's an ex-kickboxing world champion. He's incredibly famous now. What's that?
I thought he was Pitbull at first.
Pitbull.
And I had to really pay attention. I was
yeah. Pitbull. Would any of you date Andrew Tate?
Fuck
No.
He's not babe status to anybody? Yukina?
No.
Okay. Sorry, Andrew Tate. R.I.P. Well, so to bring it back to body count. So I don't think, we were going around the table on this, and then I think I jumped in somewhere. Did I start with you? I'm trying to remember. Did everyone get to give their reaction to the video? Because I don't think everyone did.
I think we were on me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait, no, I didn't go on the video.
Yeah, your reaction to the video.
Okay, so for the video, I think Andrew Tate just saying how somebody wouldn't be loyal to him just because they have a high body count. But what if he has a high body count?
He for sure has a high body count.
Yeah.
So he does it is a double standard for him.
Yeah, but the other person that he's interested in doesn't care that he has a high body count because they both have high body counts. But he's just very like, it's just the double standard. Like
it is a double standard
that he's setting.
But is it a justified double standard?
No, I don't think so because it would. I'm not saying it's justified, but if somebody has like a really low body count and they're talking to somebody who has like 100+ body counts, like let's say that person has under 10, they want somebody that has like the same amount as them, but they're not gonna like, full on judge them off of them having that many body counts. And he's just full on judging them, and even though he is also in the same standard.
Okay. And you wanted to come in?
Yeah, I think you can just like get a lot, like there's like definitely a lot of projected insecurities when like your big issue is someone's body count. Like it's kind of like why is it so important, which was I was already talking about. I mean, like if you really like someone and their body count is high, like there's always like the discussion of just like, like who have you been with and stuff, and like, and you'll kind of get like a feel of like why it is. Like some people are just like better with like having sex like natural, and it's not like they don't get like a lot of like emotional repercussions, you know what I mean? Like I've definitely like had those conversations. It's just like, oh, like, like what were you doing, blah blah blah. Like it's not like me like genuinely judging, but I feel like from him, his main focus is your body count, and like that's definitely like a projected insecurity because it's just like maybe he's like he can't like lay it down good, and so he's like scared he's gonna be like compared to all these people you've been with. Like of course like he might be looking at just like he wants like a pure girl, but it's like he's not a pure man, so it's just like, why are you saying something, and like don't expect me to say something.
Well, I think it just sort of comes back to there's asymmetries in what men and women find attractive. So it happens and by the way, he does focus on the body count. Oh Jesus. Okay, he does. We'll get to that one later. He does. I don't know. Actually, no. Sorry, man. $10 and up. Sorry. What's it called? So okay, he does care about body count, but you probably don't want to hear the other shit he has to say. He's got a lot of other preferences and standards for women. So. And to touch on what Esther was saying, so you're saying why is it such a big focus? If this is such a big focus for you, then like shouldn't there be other things that are really important? But for men, like a lot of men are not going to, even if you ask your guy friends, you can ask them after the show, a lot of men are not going to be able to be honest with you about these sort of things because like most men, if they were to be 100% honest with their preferences, standards, or boundaries, it's going to be met with some sort of contempt or shaming language, or you're going to be viewed as either insecure or small dick. You got a small dick, or you're insecure, you're a misogynist, you're an incel, whatever it may be. It's always going to be met with some sort of derision, disdain, or some sort of contempt. So men are not able in today's day and age to be honest about their preferences, standards, and boundaries. Word. You disagree?
They can't be honest about their standards?
Mm-hmm.
No.
They can't be honest.
Unless their standards are something that's illegal, then I don't see who's judging them for what they want. A lot of...
if most men were to be upfront about like what they want, it's going to like, a lot of girls are going to be like, not going to want to fuck with him. So most guys are not going to like say.
What are they wanting up front? That's
like, okay, let me give you,
like,
I can give you guys an example, right? Mm-hmm. So for me and for a lot of men, we really don't care about a woman's career. It is not important to us.
Okay. For
a lot of men. If you were to tell a girl that, I think a lot of girls are going to have an issue.
If you told me you don't care what my career is?
Yes. You'd probably be like, fuck you.
I'm like, thank you for... Oh, like if I'm talking about my career and you should say you don't care what I'm talking
about? No.
Like,
but if a guy says, listen, it's great that you make your own money, but it's not important to me what your career is. Men don't value... most men really don't care that much. A guy who's a lawyer, who's making $250,000 a year, he's a litigation attorney, he'll date a barista. He does not care about that.
Why would that's good for me.
But I'd say But what I'd say is that most women who are very successful, have a good career, you're going to want to date a guy who's on your level or higher. You're not going to, if you're a litigation attorney as a woman, you're going to be looking, okay, I want to date a doctor. I want to date someone who's making as much money as you or has some high value career. You're not going to go date the 19-year-old barista at Starbucks.
True enough.
As a woman.
But what's the point though? I don't get it.
My point is that there's asymmetries in what men and women find attractive.
Yeah.
And I think that if guys were to say, oh, well, that's great that you're a marketing director at whatever company, like it doesn't make you as a woman more attractive is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think a lot of women would be like, well, I think what a lot of women do is they look at the male metric of attraction. What are traits or things that I would find attractive in a partner? Okay, ambitious, successful, high earner, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are in college, so you're probably not hyper focused at this point on the guy's career.
Yeah.
But I think as you start to get a bit older, you're going to start looking at, is this person going to be able to provide for me? So finances do become a bit more of a factor as you get a bit older. This is a fairly young panel, so it might not be making, I might not be totally making sense at this point, but
yeah, that makes sense, especially like the first date thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you saying that men don't really value ambition and drive then what do they want then?
We value positive characteristics in women, but I would say that a
Those
woman
don't
who's
include-
ambitious, that's so low on the totem pole. So it's really, men don't care about women's ambition. Now, if you're coming to us and you have $200,000 in debt and you're a bum, like you should be doing enough, I think, to be able to,
take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. If you're in like dire financial situation, that's not a great look. But like, whether you're making $40,000 a year or you're a hyper successful, whatever it is, you're doing $250K a year, or you have your own business, you're making 7 figures a year. Most men are not really gonna look at that and be like, whoa, that's really attractive.